Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I'm Amanda. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe. There's a notifications bell down at the corner that will let you know as to when I'm going to go live. Okay, number one, I have a new favorite sweatshirt. Thank you so much to Brian M. I appreciate it. Plus, I got some comfy new, oh my gosh. Okay. These right here are like socks with soles, and they're absolutely amazing and durable. And for like no socks wearing, absolutely, I can throw these on and go walk rowing. It's awesome. So thank you. I need to thank a lot of people. Number one, definitely, Brian M., you sent, stuff right away. Bill has sent funds to help deal with an emergency that arose and has sent stuff. Stephanie R. has sent me groceries, and I'm set. And as soon as people heard that I was isolated, everybody came together to make sure to message me, make sure to see if I was okay, make sure that Rome was okay. And I can't even express how much that means. This is a really nerve-wracking time. And I'm going to go into that. I'm going to give you some updates. But I just wanted to give thank yous out there to the people that have been really just making sure that I'm all right. And because this is going to be quite the time. Hi, Maddie. So let me go into what happened. So one of my street kids was in a pretty rockin' bad relationship. And she had needed out the other day and had decided to stay. And as a domestic violence survivor myself, I do understand that it takes a minute, and sometimes it takes those starts of leaving to get to the point where you're really ready to leave. And it's a difficult process. It really is. It's difficult emotionally, physically. It's just difficult. And so I was, Tony, my other friend had, she's very supportive. So the other night she called me and was like, I'm ready to leave. So luckily, as luck would have it, Tony was in the area. And I'm going to go into how amazing some of the women I know are. No, I'm not supposed to be touching my nose and my nose itches. Isn't that how it always is? But I washed my hands, so I'm going to itch. Okay. I feel better now. It's driving me. So, she needed out. So Tony went and picked her up and came and dropped her off here. And I had to be the one to tell her, we're going to be quarantined. Like they're asking, even as an independent contractor for the city, we've been asked to, all of our meetings have been moved to online. They're asking people to work from home if possible. It is a big deal here. And I see a lot of people making light of it, calling it hoax, whatever. I don't even like, we need to defer to science on this one. I know that there is a general mistrust of scientific method and scientists, but this isn't the time for that. It's not the time for opinion. This is the time for personal responsibility and making sure that you are doing everything in your power to not spread it, because you can spread it with zero symptoms. So even if you say, I feel fine, I'm not going to get it, and you go and you have that and you may be fine. But those 30 people that you came into contact with, what if they have vulnerable at home? What if they're directly connected to seniors? What if they're in the healthcare field? We need to be careful. And that's one thing that King County is seriously pushing, is personal responsibility, not just thinking of yourself, but thinking of others. And that's really important in this. I'm going to address comments. Sheila, hi, my dear. How are you doing? I am doing the best to stay safe and healthy. Hi, Blair. It's difficult. So she dropped her off, and I had to inform her, that, I was going to allow her to do one Uber trip to, I would get because Bill had helped out, I was able to get her an Uber today to go and pick up her stuff. And I'm still seeing if she's going to be back. But as I told her, this is it. Like, nobody's coming in my place. Nobody is going to, it's rough, and it's serious. And it's especially serious for those of us that take medications that suppress our immune systems. And to see people, just kind of flagrantly not caring, that's an issue. So we're really working hard. I'm so proud of at least Washington. I'm really proud of Washington. They're really taking it very seriously, doing what needs to be done. I do not think the response is good as it should have been. We're really having to balance economic concerns with loss of life. And I think anytime that capitalism starts entering in, it's just never a good thing. I'm gonna address a comment. Hey Amanda, sorry we couldn't be on yesterday. Someone broke into Nicolette's house. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm live. Oh wow. That's awful. I'm glad that you guys are okay though. Ooh, yeah, that's not cool. Um, she needs to keep a bat by the door. Maybe all households don't do that, but most everybody I know keeps a bat by the door, short one. So anyhow, yeah, it's serious, and there's a lot of people not taking it seriously. But one thing I had to do as well, is last couple days just care for her. Like, it's rough. It's rough when you love somebody and they're acting like a shit human being. Like, that's difficult, and it's difficult to rise above that and get out of that mindset. And especially when you're facing where you're going to spend quarantine time, that is rough on relationships, I think, on the best of times. um Okay, good, Blair. I'm glad to hear that. Good plan. I'm totally down with that. So I've done some painting, but mainly it's, trying to make her as comfortable as possible so that she gets some rest. Because I think when you're undergoing domestic situations, it can be really rough. So there's that. Been dealing with that for a little bit, and then just fielding meetings and calls and rescheduling. As an independent contractor for the city of Seattle, I am a community liaison for the unhoused. So right now, it's more important than ever for me to advocate for my demographic and to put out very clear instructions that matter. And one of the things that we were running into with some outreaches is that, okay, I'm going to say this. I guess I just work with really great people. Um, but there is a high level of narcissism in some of this. And I didn't realize how severe that could be until we had to tell the outreaches, hey, you cannot group more than 10 people together. Okay. This demographic, particularly, this one especially, is very vulnerable health wise. So they're in the critical percentage. So we have to be extremely careful, even if we're healthy, that we don't transmit that to people that can get really, really sick. And some of the blowback was, well, who's going to do it? And it's like, okay, this is a different kind of thing. This is, you know, pandemic preparedness, viral transmission. This is, we need to defer at this time to public health experts. And I had to be like, it's not about you. It's not about the feel good right now. It's about literally caring for an entire population. And there are intricacies in this particular demographic of displaced people that we have to consider very deeply. And it's not okay to put our need for whatever some people do outreach for, getting their name out or whatever. It's not important right now. What's important is our people. And so it was finally I got to the point. I put out instruction, and the reason I put out instruction is because that is my demographic. I am the community liaison, so I feel some instruction for me is necessary, even if nobody else thinks so. Um, they my When I put that out, I got some blowback, and I was just like, okay, here's the deal with me and my organization, which my organization is being, is I came straight out and said, if you break this, which we have an emergency proclamation, and if you break emergency proclamation, then I won't work with you in the future because you just put my people, my demographic, the people I fight for in danger because you're not deferring to the experts. And that's never okay. We believe in this field about evidence. We believe in data. We believe in facts and the truth. And if somebody is going out and endangering those people, I'm not taking it well. And it was really hard for me too. I get it. Like, stand down was a really hard thing, especially when I've got, the supplies were, Amazon's been slow. And I think even now they're going to stop doing some packages. So, things came in late and I couldn't leave. Like, I'm done. And it was hard. It was like, man, and I felt like, well, no, it does matter. And it is now my responsibility. And, I talked to emergency management in another county as well, and brought that up. And it was like, it is time to stand down. It is time to defer to the experts. It is time, outreach is not medical personnel. And so we really have to watch what we're doing. Um, let's see, Blair. Somehow they climbed up on our balcony and kicked in the glass. I think they're looking for. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's awful. Yeah, that's not good, especially with her being definitely in the public's eye. I do worry sometimes. Like, I don't worry about myself because I feel that for the most part, I can take care of situations. um, I mean, everybody can. I just, I, I, I've been in a lot of situations, and as of yet, it's been all right. But the thing is we really should, and especially for Nicolette being young and so beautiful and full of life, and protection is very important. You know, even some sort of security. I don't know what that looks like, but I tell her I wish her the best. And gosh, guys, you'll get through it. It's just, invasion of privacy is really difficult. Um, I've had homes broken into before, and it's kind of nerve wracking afterwards. Pasha, hello. Al, hey. Hi, obsessive painter. Yes, you did. Hi, Ricky. So that's what that's been like. I did start a painting, but for some reason, like, my mind is okay. It's just been kind of busy, and it's very hard right now to disconnect from everything. And I had, with everything going on, not just with that, but with, trying to care for somebody that I love, is that, my daughter was supposed to be here tomorrow. And so we had to be, um, we had to cancel her flight. And I had she had called United, and they were like, well, it's not a big deal, blah, 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 blah. And so I reached out on Twitter, and they did the whole thing about message us in our private messaging, blah, 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 blah. And then they say the same thing that you heard on the phone. And so finally today, because my daughter was working in the OR, I was like, listen, um, you guys, like, I'm immunosuppressed. If she comes and visits, she can't stay here. I can't let her in my house. What kind of visit is that? I mean, are you just caring about your bottom line, or are you caring about all of us? Because this affects all of us. And then, they were like, oh yeah, absolutely. So they allowed a flight credit with no chart or no change fee, which means that she's got a year and with the ticket and she can still come see me. So that was really great. I was very, very happy about that. So that was like a lot of stress off. And it still kind of, it still hits me. Like tomorrow, I was so looking forward to it. I love her so very much. um, So pretty much it has consisted of I've done a lot of cooking, probably eaten way too much. I yeah, it's I'll figure it out and definitely gonna complete some paintings. I'm looking around the entire house for any kind of craft projects. It's about to get real crafty up in here. Let's see. Hey. We had him on camera. He was like a middle-aged man, but I don't know the ew. Yikes. Well, hopefully, I bet you they'll find him. I mean, I'm sure if they got him in picture, they probably have his fingerprints, I'm hoping. Because if somebody's doing that, they probably have a record. Thanks for the shout out. You are welcome. I am doing well. Of course, it's really hard. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. Like in this environment, especially knowing what we know about the spread and transmission. Um, I've had a really sore throat the last few days, but I really think it's probably the beginning of strep like I had before, just lymph nodes swelling. And, you can't like panic, but part of the problem is you can't also, go in for just quick testing because you don't want to be exposed to those people. So like there's a toss up. But, anytime there's like a cough or something, it's like but I have been of course, gargling with salt water, taking spoonfuls of honey. Kate had gotten me these elderberry vitamins, which they are saying, if at all possible, take zinc. Something about it can help prevent it getting into the lungs, and that seems to be where this virus is really centering, is on the respiratory system. Let's see. Um, so that's about been my days, is trying to figure out like what the response is for our unhoused, what we were going to do with the outreaches. Of course, I have a meeting tonight with the city to figure out like how how we can best help our demographic, how we can best help our demographic in the response effort. And I think that's really, really important. And I do have to say, not since I got the position have I ever been more proud of serving my demographic and being that person. And it's really important to me. And so it's really important to me that I'm educated and understand the the intricacies of the population and think of variables that could happen. Um, but I'm really thankful that I'm able to hopefully lend my voice and my experience and to the effort. Let's see. Hello, John. There are cameras and alarms. Good, 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 good. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, yeah, I don't have anything to worry about. Like right now, it's so funny too because I work from home a lot. Obviously, um, other than like when I go to meetings and stuff like that, I work from home, and so I never mind staying home. I like being home. Having a home, I think, is grand. So I like to be in it because I have one. And so that makes me feel really good. And now that it's like, really, I have to be, now I'm like, What am I gonna do? And I'm like, what do you normally do? You're ridiculous. So we have been definitely throwing. Rowan has been getting exercise back and forth. She likes getting her toys, so definitely getting her exercise. Um, that is one thing I'm still doing is getting her out. So everything is going good. Just the situation with um, my kid and understand too. Like I think some people get it twisted sometimes. That I do have three children, and then I have a bunch of kids that you know were my street kids when I lived under a bridge, and so I really feel love for them, and they will always be family to me. So when and the nice thing is she's actually really like she's very considerate and understands me well enough because we lived in an encampment together to be respectful of my needs and wants. So that's really great. I appreciate that a lot. Um, I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous. She's out getting her stuff right now, and I'm very nervous that she's going to say she isn't coming back. And if something happened to her, I would feel just awful. But then again, I'm also faced with the fact that sometimes you just cannot make choices for people. They have to. You can just be there and be there and be there and be there. And that's okay. If that's what needs to happen, that's what needs to happen. Um, and by the way, I am loving this sweatshirt. I am so excited to have a comfy sweatshirt that's not all worn out. Oh, it's so nice. Let's see. We don't know how he found our address. It's really creepy. It's actually, yeah, the thing is anybody can find your address at any point in time. I mean, we're really not secure, especially those of us that are in the public eye. And so at any point in time, I know that my address is all over the place. I don't, but the thing is it is anyway. And if we can Google people and find out not only their address but their last known address, their relatives, and we can do that for free. So I think that it pays to know that if you are in the public eye, people do know where you live. It is easy to find out. I've had calls from people I don't know that go into rants, and I just am like, and at first I don't like being rude. I don't. And I mean, I will be, but I don't like it. And so for a long time, I would listen to like somebody call and I'd be like, uh huh, uh huh. And it would be like 45 minutes to an hour. And I would be like, finally, I have to get off the phone. And they're like, well, call me if you this or call. And they don't know, like, they haven't followed me. They don't know that I work very hard. They don't know any of this stuff, and they make these assumptions and expect me to listen to them for an hour like I have nothing to do. And that right there, I've stopped doing that. I will literally mark the call spam. So it's just taking measures to protect yourself. Definitely, make sure that there's motion sensors, whatever you got to do to keep her safe, and keep you safe and keep your mom safe. That is top priority right now, is because you do know that now there is somebody that is actively trying to hurt you guys. So, or maybe not hurt, but break in, whatever they were trying to do. It's eh, you know. Let's see, my mom's address number. Yeah. Hey Amanda, I heard your story from Invisible People. So glad to see you're doing well. Yeah, yeah, I am. I am. Someone left me a voicemail saying they were going to kill me in a creepy voice. I was very concerned for that. It's like your go-to. Yeah, just like I said, be real careful. And when those things happen, and and you get those voicemails, especially you, particularly, you need to take that to the police department. And they need, even if they, here's the thing, more than likely, they're going to tell you there's nothing they can really do about it at that time. But every time you make a report, that goes in. And so they can see a pattern. And then at some point, hopefully, they look at that pattern and then finally understand that there's something that needs to be done. So it's really about documentation. I enjoy your channel. I love what you guys. Thank you so much, Elena. I appreciate it. And I really, I am so thankful for my viewers. You guys are amazing and supportive and loving, and it makes me feel so good. And it's comfortable. It's comfortable to know that I can, no matter what's really going on, and even if, like many times, as you all know, wearing a ratty sweatshirt and, hair is a mess or no makeup, it doesn't matter. Like it's about coming on and sharing things and being transparent and making those connections. And I really, really appreciate everybody for that. Let's see. My mom hired someone like look over me on the way back from school. So good, good. I'm glad you feel better about it and safer for sure. Hi Amanda, can I ask what is the plastic pillow behind you? It's not plastic. It's actually just really it's actually from my bedroom set, and it was just like really shiny. But no, it's comfy. It's not plastic. It's just metallic material. Um, I like shiny stuff. It's a thing. um, yeah, I always have. And I think that's because even when I look at colors, they seem to shine. And it makes me so happy. Like, even if the light's not hitting it, it still just pops, it shines, life shines, and makes me really happy. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. It looks like it's going to be a couple weeks. It makes me nervous about getting my medicine. It makes me nervous about getting food. It makes me nervous about all sorts of things. But here's the cool thing. In the end, I know I'll be okay. Like, that's how my life goes. In the end, it'll be all right. So it's just remembering that and doing the best I can to, educate my demographic and help them out as much as possible, and wait and see. Let's see. You shine. Thank you. I appreciate that, Lotus. That's the thing. I think people have this inner light, and I think when and not all the time. I have major depressive disorder. I get depressed. I get awful. But in the end, I also know that that light is still there. It may be covered and I may not be able to see it at that moment, but I know it's there. And when it shines, I can feel it. And other people have it too. And when they tap into that that soul light, you can see it. They shine. And I can only hope to be one of those people that can develop an inner light that shines and shines through me. Blair, also don't fall for any impersonators of me and my mom and my sister. They try to get in contact with people we follow and stuff to get information. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, absolutely. I know that stuff happens. I haven't had to worry about it yet. Um, but for sure, yeah, people do that, and people are interesting. They're always something new with them. So before I go, are there any questions? Anything else? And if I forgot to thank you, I'm sorry. I remember I am so grateful. If you've sent supplies, if you sent food, if you have reached out to me to see if I'm okay, if you have sent love and a positive, thank you. I'm telling you now, thank you. Any questions? Let's see, Lotus. I am sorry about your daughter, but you have that to look forward to in the future. I know, and I was really when I was really worried that they were going to do this, what they call a change fee, which it would have taken like $150 off of her flight credit. And so today I called and kind of, made some very valid points. And they did work with me, and they made sure that they gave her a full flight credit with no change fee. and it's viable for a year. So yes, I will get to see her, and that makes me so happy. Um, let's see. My mom does have one private account. That's all I message to. Okay. Um, Jimmy, when I first got homeless, did I feel alone? Ooh, that's a difficult question, actually. Yes, yes, it was really scary. When I knew my son was in Seattle, and so my first night homeless, I looked for him, and as soon as like that's a whole long story. That's a whole nother vlog, and I think I've done that one before. I gave a speech at Ignite about it. But I after I found my son, he was part of a tent encampment of street kids under East Lake. And so as soon as I found him in 3 to 4 hours, I believe, and just by word of mouth, I didn't have a phone. Um, and he just told me, the kids that handed me the phone, he's like, "Go with them, you're safe." And immediately, like I went into the when I was at the encampment, I was accepted with open arms. Like by the second day, I was mom to everybody, and it was each of them did things in their own ways to try to brighten my days to the high level of respect. For example, there's a couple, well, a few street kids that steal from each other constantly. They are always taking each other's things. And the street kid that was staying with me, she was like, yeah, watch your stuff. And I said, I don't have to. Nobody takes my stuff. Like, there was one issue with two kids that came in and did that, and they were no longer like, I want you to eat, but not on my table, like, end of story. And so nobody, like, I was always treated, or not always, but for the most part, I was treated with respect and kindness and love, and, you know, integrated and taught about what to do, what, it's, I was so blessed to walk into an encampment with kids that were so eager to love. And I will never forget it. I, out of everything, the relationships and the family that I have out of that, I'm floored. I literally have like three of them that live in this building below me. One who came here, I've been at the birth of, two babies so far, almost three, but Holly had hers north and I couldn't get there. So it's everybody's experience is a little different. What I think is important is that we don't get so caught up in our own experience that we try to judge others for theirs. And I tried to be very cognizant while I was out there of the fact that there are many, many different types of subculture in this culture. And and to really learn from that and learn from others' experiences and learn from what they were doing and how they got through and what were some of the problems that I was seeing, with the system. What did I think could be done better? And through all of that, I was able to make an impact and now do what I do, and be able to help that demographic especially. Let's see. I heard that dogs can be carriers of the coronavirus also. Um, there's been one case, and it was a low level that I would test for. What they are recommending at this time is, since that's really, it was confirmed that the dog had it in low levels, but they're not sure of transmission yet. So what they're saying is, if you are sick, stay away from people and animals alike. Um, of course, once we learn more, as this situation develops hourly. And the more people, and I am so thankful to live in Seattle. I know we're like an epicenter right now, but I'm telling you, we have some of the best researchers here. Like, they're amazing. And I am so thrilled at what they've been able to accomplish in a very short amount of time, being extremely unprepared. Um, so yeah, we don't know. We're just like trying to keep ourselves safe. Let's see. I didn't know you had kids. You look so young. Yeah, I actually have grandchildren. I'm a grandmother, which seems so funny saying that. But no, yeah, that's the thing is, you never can tell. I have friends that are having children right now. And I'm like, "Oh, I couldn't do that." I'm tired. So any other questions? Anything? No? Okay. What I would like you to do is A, put any ideas like for because I'm gonna be isolated for a hot second, just so you know, like, yeah, it's a thing. And so ideas for what you want to hear about, questions that you have, anything like that, put down in comments and I will, do what I can to do a vlog about it or answer that or communicate and spend time. um, Arabella's heart for book art. Hi from the Netherlands. Hi from Seattle. What is your secret to looking young? I don't know. Like I've always looked extremely young. I think a lot of that has to do with just plain genetics. I think that, yeah, I think a lot of it is genetics and also joy. Um, Bitterness takes over a face as well. And so one of the things especially when I was younger, I used to try to say to myself is get better, not bitter. And that was really important to me. And I don't want resentment or bitterness to cloud my features. And I think that a lot of times repetitive emotions can do that. And so I think it doesn't matter how old you are, a joyful countenance means something. And it instantly brightens anyone's face. Um, was it a problem? Did you get SSA? Will SSI help you get with food? No, I was actually, it's very difficult to get SSI. And I had applied and I was turned down twice. And the last time, and it doesn't matter because my housing is secure. Regardless of the federal disability status, I do have disability status. So uh, my housing is secure. So I was able to say, I'm not going to do financial abuse anymore and start being able to generate revenue with different things I do, such as blogging or painting or photography or my consulting work, whatever I can do to make sure that I'm making a difference. Anything I do, because like, yes, I know we all need money to survive, but whatever I do, I want to make sure that it is enhancing and bettering the world. And so I think that we can really choose in that, whatever we do, make sure it's in the betterment of who we are and where we live. So um, I finally decided that I was going to do my best. Like I'm I'm either going to fail or succeed, period. And regardless of anything else, I wanted to give me a chance. And I wanted to do it without a consistent check-in with the US government who I could trust as far as I freaking could throw them right now. And the last thing I trust is that they have any kind of healthcare other than our healthcare provider. But I'm talking about like, politicians, they should stay out of our medical crap. Um, I really thought you were in your late 20s, early 30s. No, no, I'm not. Manuel. Oh, thank you guys so much. This make me feel so good. I'm like blushing, like toes up, like aw. Um, yeah. Now I feel pretty. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys so much. Definitely in the comments, leave me ideas, things you want to see, things you want to talk about, whatever. I'll try to make it happen. And if you're so inclined, in the descriptions, and thank you, Kayak Excursions. You finally explained to me how to do it because apparently in the descriptions, to have it be a link, you have to add HTTPS dot things and then the slashes. And I hadn't been doing that. So I've done it now. So I put up the links for PayPal and Patreon. The reason I do not have any Amazon link on there is because at this time, all operations to hand out supplies on my end have ceased until a later date. So thank you guys. I appreciate you and I will talk to you later. Thank you, Blair. You have a good day too. Bye.